Hey everybody, thank you for purchasing the $3 steak. In the episode Lopez vs. Ghosts, there's a curandero that visits the house to find out that the house is being haunted by George's grandmother, someone who George hasn't forgiven for the mistreatment he's endured in his childhood. It's revealed that George took the money for her funeral and buried her ashes in his backyard out of spite. It is also revealed that George will continue to be haunted by her until he gives her a proper resting place. He later gets visited by her in a dream, and they have a heart-to-heart where George comes to the conclusion to finally forgive her and throw her ashes at a casino, a place where both George and his grandmother were happy once. The episode's main theme is about forgiveness and the importance of forgiveness and how it plays a vital role in personal growth. Giving this episode a second watch, one thing I thought was a nice touch was a scene where George and Mayan were having a conversation, and Mayan made a comment pointing out that George is not truly changing because he did not want to forgive his grandmother and did not want to give her a proper resting place. George argued that he is changing for Mayan, but he is not obligated to do right by his grandmother. This was George's argument. Overall, I think this episode was well done and had several good talking points. The reason I wanted to talk about this episode is because it resonates with me in some aspects, and I've learned a lot about the importance of forgiveness. And I've learned in my own personal life that forgiveness isn't for the other person or people, but for yourself. This is something that was touched on briefly in the episode, and I had a hard time learning how to forgive. The reason I liked the conversation about growth between George and Mayan is because, as I mentioned earlier, this is something I've had to go through, and this conversation is something that I have, been a part of previously. I was George in this instance. It is not easy to forgive, and I feel George's pain here, but it is important to know that while it is okay to be hurt, I'm going to repeat that. It isn't okay to be hurt. But in order to grow, one has to learn to let go. If you're having a hard time forgiving in your life, remember this. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about you. It's a gift you give to yourself in a way to release the heavy burden of resentment and anger that can weigh you down. Sometimes in our lives, we all face challenges and we all face moments that really test our ability to forgive. And it may be a betrayal from a friend, a misunderstanding from a loved one, or something even more profound. In these moments, we must remind ourselves that holding on to anger, it really only harms us. It is. Forgiveness allows us to reclaim our joy and move forward with hope. Remember, forgiveness is a process. Okay? It's not going to be done overnight. It's okay to take your time and feel your emotions. Please do. Don't bottle them. Surround yourself with support, reflect on the lessons learned, and understand that forgiveness can also be a way to cultivate empathy. When we consider the struggles of others, we often find compassion in the midst of pain, even in the midst of pain. So please, if you're going through something and you're having a hard time forgiving, you're holding on to a lot of anger, please take it from me personally. Don't do that. Learn to forgive. Find it in yourself to forgive. Don't force it. It will come naturally. But please, let go. Not for anyone else, but for yourself and for your own personal growth. Thank you, everybody, for watching this episode of the $3 Steak. Have yourself a great day. And that's going to conclude the video.